I'm Tash.
And I'm Larni.
And we're My Two Wives. Okay, so we are back here with another controversial topic as part of our mini-series. Today, this one is called...
Mind fuck or just fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to fuck
Or
mind fuck. So we are discussing the difference between being physically connected to someone and sexually connected or emotional intimacy.
So what you are, sapiosexual.
Yes.
So I found you're more like, you struggle to have a connection with someone unless you're mentally attracted to them, right?
Yeah.
Which is a sapiosexual.
Yeah.
Whereas my beginning of my relationship, like the main focus for me, and I don't choose it, but it happens that way.
Yeah. You don't choose it. That's a good point.
Right?
You don't choose how you are wired.
Yeah, because if I could be attracted to their intelligence, I'd be like, no, but I'm just like, no. Can you lay it down good? Are we like connecting well? And
is she having the big O?
That's the big ticker for me.
Yeah, so that one is the sexual
tribal
connection.
Instinct reading.
Yeah, 100%. And I am very much so attracted to people depending on how intelligent they are.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the reason I'm really attracted to my
Your
husband is because he is so smart. No, he's physically what I look for too, like as a physical sense. He's very that lumberjack look.
Yeah, you have both.
But I can't go there with people
that would if he was dumb.
If he was
where I would be like, it's okay, my little Neanderthal. Just lay it down.
Just lay it down.
What is it? Bam, bam. Bam, bam, smash. I'm just like, yeah, bam, bam, smash me. It's fine.
No, don't come near me if you're missing that. If you're like...
No, because I'm like, I'm happy to be the thinker. Even though, look, in this relationship I'm in now, my man's really intelligent and sometimes I'm caught off guard. But I think that's why that's working, because it's a bit of both now.
Yeah.
So he actually gives me things where I'm like, oh... I didn't know that I needed that or thought about that, or, okay, let's get emotionally connected.
Yeah.
So
we're also going to discuss what it means to be in a relationship where you have one but not the other.
Yeah.
Is it sustainable? Is it real intimacy? So I've got a scene.
Yep.
You and your partner are having regular sex, but you don't feel emotionally close. What do you do? What do you do?
You're having sex a lot.
You're having a lot of sex. So with my husband's permission, I'll actually answer this one because I have got my husband's permission with this one. Thank you, honey. But yeah, we went through a little bit of a phase recently, but an emotional lull. So one thing for 16 years straight that stayed so solid was the sexual intimacy. That has never, ever
faltered.
But what did falter was our emotional connection.
Yeah.
We were workaholics.
Yeah.
We were like ships in the night.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't sit down and converse. He wouldn't speak very much about what's going on in his work life. I wouldn't really talk much about what was going on with my work life. We'd come home, have dinner, go to bed and have great sex. But there was no connecting emotionally at all. And
how did you find that was taking your relationship? Like, where did you find you guys were ending up?
Good
place, sustainable?
For me, no. But I thought if I hadn't got upset, he may have just let that continue for a really long time. And so I think, had I not nipped it in the bud...
Because you're a sapiosexual, though.
Yeah, so I needed that.
So it was important for you.
But it went on for a really long time. Given that I don't like not being emotionally connected, I let that go on for a really long time. But now that it's been rectified, I feel like we've gotten over the hump of where we were going wrong, because we wouldn't go out for dinners, we wouldn't go out for lunches, we wouldn't have coffee together. We would have our Sunday morning coffee together.
You didn't have a relationship. You had a partnership.
We had a partnership. I had a bed warmer.
A partnership. Whereas, for example, I did 4 years with essentially a bed warmer.
Yeah.
And I was quite content at that point. But I didn't realise, because what you have and what you've had for the last 16 years or 15 years is that it's becoming important and necessary to have.
Yeah, well, now that we've gotten over the hump. And here's the kicker. I'll say this. I don't think we'd gotten over the hump if the sex wasn't good.
So necessarily.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have one to hold on to that and be like the fucking that like I'm gonna still tire and you're still stuck.
Yeah.
Where you can't exactly move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have just like depleted and finished off
100.
because you didn't have either to hold on to.
Yeah, nothing to hold on
Yeah.
to, but because the bedroom's always 10 out of 10, and I mean 10 out of 10, like that is like...
Bro, and like I said to you, the grass is not greener on the other side.
No. And I don't think like that, by the way.
Yeah, I know you don't.
When I'm not emotionally connected to him, I'm not thinking, oh, I wish I had someone else to be emotionally connected to. I still know he's my
No, but I'm
human.
even talking about being like alone. Like it's just not necessarily like being alone might not even be better than fighting through and working on. I know when it comes to...
So what I'm saying is I thought being alone more than being with someone else. So I would always think, if this doesn't work out...
You don't ever think that you'd be with someone else, or should I fight? It's always like, well, maybe I should just be alone rather than going through the hardship of this. But then you worked it out and you're like, no, fuck this. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
And that's how you grow over the hump. And 100% it is worth it. Mate, if it wasn't worth the hardness, you wouldn't be able to appreciate the goodness when everyone gets to it.
But okay, let me talk about what I'm feeling at the moment. Because I was disconnected emotionally for so long, now that I'm getting that, for me it feels wrong. And I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but...
What do you mean?
Well, so it feels not real because I haven't known him to be this way for so long.
It's been so abstinent.
Yeah, but it's not. I haven't gotten this attention, this effort, this anything for such a long time that, and I wouldn't say such a long time, but I would just say like maybe a good 6 months of just.
Yeah, well, you haven't gotten it because you never expected it. But the thing is, that's how you know that a relationship is worth something, because someone genuinely puts the effort into something.
Yeah.
That's not usually quite them.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's faking it, or it's not
But
like...
that's what it sort of feels like.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing it now? Because I've had to ask.
Because he loves you.
Yeah, and I believe that, and I can see that he really means, and he means what he's doing, but I can't shake the...
Is it organically him?
Yeah.
No.
Is this sustainable? Like, is this new version of what we're trying to do here?
And that's growth.
Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah.
Because everyone can grow and turn into different people.
Yeah.
I stay home and cook dinners more lately.
You do. She does. Actually, this is a great conversation. Let's talk about your new growth with a partner and the things you've decided to do to help enhance your emotional connection.
Because he's more
you never were.
Because I feel like he's potentially more the sapiosexual.
Yeah.
Whereas I've always been the tribal, just let's bang, and I'm content with that. We don't need to talk. You don't need to know who I am. This is how it is. This is how we're going to roll. Now it's very, very different. It's more of an adulting way, I guess, and more emotional.
But he's asked this of you, right? He said, listen, I want more of one-on-one time and more connection.
And he said he needs it.
And he said he needs it, yes.
He's like, I need this connection between you and I for the relationship to be sustainable for him. So I've changed certain habits I've done. Look, I'm not shadowing who I am. I'm still me.
Yeah.
But I'm incorporating things that make him happy because he makes me happy.
Yeah, okay.
So that's how I see that. It's not that I'm changing who I am, because I am exactly what I do and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I just make it become a part of who I am.
Yeah.
But also I'm doing it because I love him.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's how that's being worked
That's
in.
good to know. And I think that's how when you say it like that, and she said it to me like this, I think that's how I overcome the feeling of, oh, I think you're faking.
Nah.
Yeah, because
not faking.
I know he,
because what you can't fake is the love you have for someone.
I get into the bedroom and I think, you couldn't fake this, right?
He doesn't fake that.
Like, you would know.
Would
you know?
Fake with my man. I like that ain't faking.
Yeah.
But it's the little actions are also done through actions of service because I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And that effort. And people who don't want to pursue good and solid relationships don't make that level of effort.
That level of effort, and also maybe they just don't love someone as much as they think. Like I've been in relationships that have failed because they chose personal habits.
Yeah.
Like drug use for themselves, whereas had they sacrificed something that they really loved for me and changed their behavior, it would have shown how much they genuinely loved me. Yeah. Or they actually just didn't love me as much as they thought they did.
Yeah, okay.
Because actions are important too.
Oh, so much.
So you can be put on a pedestal and told every day that you're loved, but their actions are so opposite. It's like, oh, well, maybe you don't love me as much as you action out what you love me.
That's funny, because that's exactly where the whole debacle really started.
And that comes in talking.
Well, what happened is that his actions didn't marry his words one night. And so I lost it, and I was like, listen, because I'm really big on that. That's a huge part of who I am. Your actions don't marry your words. Forget it, because I'm paying attention. And so when he said to me, and he did the whole, I hate groveling in men. I hate groveling in any relationship where it's the whole, I love you so much. I'm like, yeah, I get it. But if your actions don't come with the groveling just makes me real repulsed.
Yep.
And so he did the grovel. And then he's like, well, what do you want? What do you want to do? Because you're obviously groveling, telling me you love me. And I was like, let's do some things together, go dancing. And then I said, let's go to the gym, because to me, that was an easy thing. And he just got up and walked away from me.
He also had to process it.
He did, but I was like, you don't grovel and then say, nah, fuck this, I'm walking away.
Yeah.
Nah, gross.
But then what happened later?
Well, he was like, I just get really nervous when I go to large crowded places, which is entirely true of him. And he does hate the gym.
Yep.
And I was like, look, I know, but you can't say, what do you want? I'll do anything. And then not do the anything. Like, that just felt so shit. Because I was like, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to go to that level of effort. Hell, it felt like, I'll do anything for you, but I can't even get to the gym for you. Like, just put it into perspective. I can't even go to the gym for you.
Yeah.
Like, you don't love me.
Yeah.
You don't love
until
me.
the actions change.
Yeah.
Which obviously have started changing.
Oh, yes.
Which has brought you guys back together. So
Yeah.
it's important that you guys have emotional connection.
Yeah.
I think with age and time, because we get older, it's like, you know what? I need more than just the sex.
Yeah.
Because I remember a time where it was important for me, and it could have been the only one at one stage, to just have the sex without emotional connection.
Yeah.
But as we realize the value of our time and what's important to us, we're like, oh, well, we do need this as well.
Yeah.
And then it's also when we go through these hardships in our relationship, it's as long as people are putting in the effort to make changes, then it pulls you guys together.
Well, it felt like when we first had that argument that that effort wasn't being met. It is now. So we had to get over that too, because I was basically tapped out. And I tap out so quick because I hate my time being wasted. And I had to crawl back from that because I basically left him. And I was like, nah, can't. Just absolutely. If we can't make it to the gym, what fucking hope do we have?
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
To make it for the next 40 years.
Yeah, literally. Like, you want me to die, but we can't go up the road to the gym and you
Yep.
can't stand behind me while I lift weights.
Yep.
Bettering my health. Anyway, he's come to the table now and he said, listen, I will go and spot you at the gym, no problem. And then I might get back into it slowly. And he has been making huge amounts of effort. And
to get that emotional connection.
Yeah, to get it back. Because we weren't always talking about anything much or no plans. But this is the kicker though, right? Men, I think, need sexual connection and a happy first. And I think he could have stayed, because the bedroom was always good, I think that he could have stayed plodding along with the way we were, because that never faltered.
Yeah.
And there was no reason to change until I got upset.
Yeah,
and I mentioned it.
But that's the other thing is that, and this is, I'm going to come into the defense for men, by the way, is that unless, because I'm one of these people that like hold on to stuff and I will just like be pissed off rather than vocalize it.
Yeah.
Is that it's important for women to be honest and transparent and be like, I am unhappy, rather than let it go to a point where you keep it in and then you hit rock bottom and then it's done.
Yeah.
So before pulling the plug, if the relationship's important for you guys both, that you need to be transparent and tell each other that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you don't know what to fix.
Well, that's what I always say to him too. I'm like, listen, if you've got an issue and you don't tell me, that's on you.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually the law of karma is to say it straight, and then if you don't go with it, it's on you.
Yeah.
Right. So I always tell it straight.
Yeah.
And I always say what I need and what I don't need. But I think a lot of women get really sick of not being listened to. So you'll get kind of, he hates this word, but you will get a little bit gaslit. Like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
You haven't said shit.
Yep.
But maybe I have told you 20 times and you just decided that what I say, because I've experienced that.
Yeah.
Just being ignored constantly.
Yeah, because they actually aren't listening.
They actually just aren't listening. Complacency can ruin things, you know what I mean? It can even make you deaf, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but he's not deaf and we're really pulling through that. So I feel like that's we're in a really good place.
Yeah.
Like really, really good.
To get that emotional connection back between you guys.
Yeah,
both.
and you know what's so funny is that part of the growth of the emotional connection has even though the sex was a 10, it's now an 11.
Yeah. Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. For me. Like
yeah,
maybe not for him.
I thought about mine at the moment because I'm pregnant and I feel like I'm a little bit restricted.
Yeah.
It's dulled down a bit. And then the emotional side's coming in with all my hormones and also because we're getting to know each other still.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a nice little fun rocky roller coaster. But
those hormones will get you in a way though.
Oh, they do.
They will make you think things that are just not even real thoughts, but you'd believe yourself at the time.
No, I'm right.
You good? Oh, yeah, you're right?
Yeah, I'm always right. But
she's always right.
But I think, look, it's also getting to know each other's emotional standards, what we expect of each other, being patient and also being transparent.
Yeah.
Which some people, it depends on also if you're going to be complacent in your relationship and what you want out of it.
Do you think one of those connections, sexual or emotional, takes priority over the other?
I believe it's necessary to have insane connection, physical connection from the get.
Yeah.
Because if you don't fucking snag that hook and that fish, ta-da, we're out anyway. So snag the fish first and then let's see if we have that emotional connection. I give it 2 fucks if we're connecting from the get. Like, we need to fuck well because if I'm fucking you for the next 60 years of my life, it better be good. Do you know what I mean?
I do, you know what?
So
as much as I am a sapio, and I need a smart, intelligent man, that chemistry
is important and necessary.
I don't even think it's necessary. It's crucial.
Because in 40 years' time, once I forget your name and I'm like that movie where she forgets shit,
Notebook.
Notebook. Yeah. Like if we're going to get to that point in life because we're married for so long, well, then the intimacy better be insane still.
Yeah.
And so I believe it's imperative to have it from the get-go.
Yeah.
If it dulls throughout the marriage, that's fine because life happens, time happens, grandkids happen, pregnancies happen.
Deaths happen,
right?
depression happens.
All that.
Yeah.
But then also you need to have emotional connection and work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
The ability to have the emotional. So you really do need both. I know that some people will think
I used to be a believer that it was just sex.
Yeah.
But then I've realized when I've been with someone for a longer period of time that I was like, holy shit. Actually, because I've done it once before when it wasn't a huge connection.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was like, actually, I want this of you.
Yeah.
And I felt a little bit guilty asking him of it at one stage. I was like, I know I've let this be this way for this time.
Yeah.
But I also need this because when we're not having that, because of time and kids and I need another connection with you. Yeah. Because that's why you're my person. Yeah. Because I need to get this from someone. Yeah. And I expect it to be my single person, not just my wifey or...
Yeah. I know. Well, I wasn't... Well, see, I could let... It was... Another reason my problem went on for so long is because I get a lot of my emotional connection from you.
I know. And it just can't fall on just your outer ship that you have with someone else.
I can't
it needs
fuck
to come
you, girl.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, you better be happy, Michael. But... But it's important for your person at home to be able to give you both. Well, not always constantly. No. But you need to be able to access it from them eventually. Within the marriage, within the partnership.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. So no, and that's what happened. So I was getting a lot from you and I just didn't pull anything up. And then I started feeling very lonely in my own home. And I know so many people feel that. And it's weird because you'll be like, what do you mean lonely in your own home?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't feeling lonely in the bedroom. He still loved me.
No, yeah.
But I just felt lonely.
Yeah, when you were doing stuff and you would only go to dinner.
Everything was always on my own. Everything I was in my own world because we don't collide. He doesn't try to be involved in my business. He doesn't try to be, he's not an overbearing person. And I'm allowed to be me. And, you know, a big part of the conversation we had was making sure as well that I wasn't trying to change him. Because I said when I was ready to tap out, because I was like, look, this is not feeling... Because he didn't feel like a friend either. Like, he just felt like a lover, but not a friend. Not like we were besties and we would chat about shit and, like, I just wasn't getting that. And, I just said, look, when I was ready to tap out, I said, look, I don't want to change who you are. My goal's not to change people. If this isn't how it's going to be, I'm not here to change you. I'm not asking you to change. if you need to grow somewhere else, be someone else somewhere else, then that's okay.
But what I need is
to connect emotionally. We need to have chats. We need to talk, because I can't just be sending 500 fucking reels to wifey all day long. And he'd often not even text me back.
Yeah.
Like during the day.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Yeah. Or
and
check in and be like, how's your day been? Or
he'd do that sometimes, but not often.
Yeah, but not often enough to what you want. No, 100%. And I can see, and it is important.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because we're women either, but we do run a little bit more on an emotional...
Absolutely.
And
I'm aware of that.
Roller coaster / emotional feel where we need to feel more than just provide.
Yeah.
Because men have that masculinity where they provide and they're there to look after, whereas we're the nurturers, and we also need to be nurtured.
Yeah, I just really needed that part of it. But yeah. But anyway, so far, amazing. Lots of effort made, lots of trying, and lots of not wanting me to leave.
60 years of this is how it's going to be. It goes on like a little...
cycles. Like I know this won't be the only thing that ever comes about as an issue. And so...
That's what marriage is too. Like when you ask someone who's like 80, 90 and you're like, how did you get a successful marriage? Like, was your marriage always happy? They'll look at you and be like, it wasn't always happy.
No, and easy.
Yeah, or easy.
No, it wasn't smooth sailing.
But it was effort and it was time and
choices.
I'm happy. Yeah, choices, and I'm happy where I am now.
Yeah.
So
they write it out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Having that connection for both sex.
And a lot of people might say,
important.
Yes, emotions are important. A lot of people might say leaving someone because they won't talk to you isn't really a reason to leave, because I feel like I got that a little bit too. And I'm like, listen, your standards are your standards. If I aim for a 10 out of 10, then that's my standards. If you're happy to let shit slide and just because you don't want to break your own ice or, you know, have those confrontational moments with your partner and you just let shit slide continually, then I feel like that is a standard you set on yourself. But I'm the type of person, obviously
like,
infidelity.
This is what I need.
Yeah, but infidelity is for me. Like a lot of people are like, nah, I could never make it past cheating. And even though a lot of people do, that would be my like huge see you later, like we're cutting it.
Instant.
But that's not the only reason people leave relationships. Like
either the emotional connection or the sexual
connection goes. And it doesn't mean one of you is cheating on each other. But it's definitely a reason for me to be like, listen, I'm not spending 60 years with someone who can't chat with me.
Yep.
And that was, for me, reason I'd go. And some people didn't think that was a good enough reason. I mean...
Yeah, because there's people out there that will stay together also for kids, right? So because they have a home, a house, and kids, they'll also stay in marriages for that alone.
Yeah.
Whereas we know our boundaries now.
And standards.
Yeah. For ourselves, you can have what you have for you. That's okay. But this is my expectancy of what I want for my life.
Yeah, for my life. Because I know I'm dying one day and it's going to come around quick, and you can't
waste it.
You can't feel lonely in your own home for all those times. It's not fair to you. Because I said to him, look, you don't have to change, but I need you to think that I'm just not, like, I shouldn't have to change
I'm not happy
either.
With this.
Yeah.
So this is what I want. Either you can or you can't, and I'm okay either way.
Yeah, and I was. And it was all right to be alone. But like you said, the grass isn't always greener, just necessarily being alone, and walking away from a 16-year marriage is like, well, 16-year partnership is like.
And look, if you have that partner that's going to turn around and be like, emoji.
Yeah.
Yep. So gravy, baby.
Yeah.
Plus the dick's still good.
The motherfucker has me dick whipped.
I know.
Like out of everything, I'm like, and I said to him, I said, listen, if we didn't make it, I was like, can we just fucking still be friends?
Yeah, fucking still
be friends.
Well, look, you're on a good marriage anyway, and I'm happy for you both.
No, thanks, wife.
You know what? I'm looking forward to seeing where I am in 16 years.
I know, but you've done a lot of things recently that I've never seen you do. Like making those changes for someone you really love is nice.
It's different, but yes, it is nice.
Yeah.
But also I understand why, because look, his happiness is important to me as well.
Yeah.
So
that's why you chose to do
100%.
it. 100%. Yeah. And that's real commitment.
Even though it's like different from what I would usually do on my own terms, but that's not what you do in a partnership.
No, it's not.
So a marriage is a combined thing. So I do for you, you do for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, where do you think people should draw the line? Where do you think the end really lies? What does the end look like?
Not when you can see no other option. I believe it's when you've literally actually tried them all. So when you've actioned it. So obviously I ended a marriage of 10 years, but I felt like as a wife then I actually had actioned everything I could have done.
Yeah, so you tried counselling.
Yeah. Counselling, talking, honest, and it was just continual no changes. And the thing is, he would still do some things without, like I felt like it started becoming a lie. Yeah. When he would say, no, I'm definitely doing this. Like I would look at him and I would actually be like, I feel like you know you're lying. So not only do I feel like you're lying, but I feel like you already know you're lying too.
Oh,
so then that's when I drew a line for myself when I realized that it genuinely wasn't the truth that it was going to change.
Yeah. Yeah. And when the actions never followed through.
No. And look, there's going to be times where they don't always follow through, but you got to eventually get to a point where you can see progression, even if it's a little.
Yeah.
There was a good 3 years of no progression at all.
Yeah, right. So you rode that out for 3 years.
3 years of no progression.
Yeah, wow.
So, and look, when people are like, oh, no, you know, he's done this, he's done that, he's done this. I'm like, well, have you taken these steps to do X, Y, and Z? Once you've done that, then fair. Call it quits.
Yeah.
But there's no harm in at least giving it a little bit of a go. Yeah. And just seeing first.
Seeing if it's got, And I know mine has so far been worth that and not calling it quits as easily as I was going to. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
100.
Well,
Awesome.
anyway, that's our little chat today about another controversial topic.
Yeah. So it's both. Let's factor in that emotions and physical are both very important.
Let us know your stories if you have them. DM us if you can. Let us know of any...
Or what you were, a sapiosexual and or someone who just wanted the sex. Like I used to be a little bit tribal and it was a very important factor. But as I've gotten older, it's changed.
Yeah. So. Have you been one or the other or changed as you've gotten older? Yeah. Let us know. We'd love to hear it. All right. Awesome. Well, we'll see you at the next one. We've got one more episode left of our controversial topics. So we will see you for the last one. Bye.
Peace. God bless.